by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Jansen's Heating and Air is the home of Dr. Comfort, focusing on customer care for heating and air conditioning across Central Illinois for some 35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM. You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kamai. My next guest this morning is the Chief Deputy of the Christian County Sheriff's Office, Jim Baker. And Chief Deputy Baker, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me again.
Yes, yeah.
Good
No,
morning.
we missed you last month, and so I'm sure you'll have a lot to share with us on this occasion. I know we typically start with a look back at the activity in the month. It looks like we have March's numbers, at least here with me right now, according to what I have here. And what do you have to share?
Yeah, so March typically is you're in between, the coming out of the winter where we have a lot of crash reports, and then it picks up in just activity in general for the summer. And in March, we had 25 incidents reports that they generated compared to normally about 30 to 40. We had 4 criminal arrests. 3 of those were major traffic arrests, your driving revokes and suspendeds. The deputies attempted 101 civil papers, and in addition to the 92 actual civil service papers that they served, to include subpoenas and summonses and stuff like that. They've done 40 location checks throughout the month, 2 DUIs, picked up 4 warrant arrests, and as I said before, the traffic crashes were down to 14. We handled 14 crash reports. Additionally to that, we use the sheriff's app to get all of our announcements out. We did do one safety announcement where a roadway was closed on the app. And additionally, we had a weekend where our non-emergency phone lines were down, and we was able to put that out on the app as well as our Facebook, that in the event that you was trying to call the office, that would be a place that when something like that happens, if you refer to the app, you'll know that the lines were down. And we worked that IT problem out overnight, got it fixed. And probably one of the most successful things that we was able to utilize was the app. We were getting, people had seen that we were looking for a dementia elderly individual from Southern Illinois, and we was able to push that out on the app and was getting phone calls, and we was successful in finding that individual, I believe in the Pena area, and getting him safely back to his family.
Well, that's great on that last one. If you're able to share, how long did it take between kind of when you folks put the alert out and then when you got the discovery?
Yeah, so it was probably an hour that they posted, hey, we've got this individual, that the individual was picked up on the flock system, heading north some distance south of us, and then they got another notification in an additional flock system. I don't know where it was at, being updated, that they was picking up that license plate, and so we assumed that he would be traveling north to us based on that flock notifications. Yeah. And so we put the notification out, and then we had individuals looking, and we actually, like I said, a caller seen it on the app and called in, and we was able to track him down and contact his family and get him safely. So I would say it was about an hour from our first notification.
Okay.
That it was taking place.
Yeah, it's got to be encouraging as far as like the efficacy of the app, because if you wait just a couple hours more, who knows where that individual is after that? Yeah.
I like I said, I encourage people listening, if you don't have the app, to pick it up, because we used it yesterday, that we would recap next month, that we had, I think the last radio show we done, we talked about our new Deputy Trimble. Well, somebody went online, found that, and was utilizing that to scam people, saying, hey, you've got a warrant for your arrest, and I'm Deputy Trimble, and I'm coming to arrest you if you don't send me X amount of dollars. And for that notification, we received 3 phone calls within an hour on it. It was a fire blast of scam calls going on, and we sent the notification out to inform the public. It's easy to look at it 2 days later on Facebook or whatever, but when your phone dings and you get that notification to say, hey, this is actually happening right now, then you can share that information.
Yeah, and these scams, obviously I as far as I'm aware, they're getting more and more sophisticated. And I think considering the turnaround between when the deputy started and now this, like it sounds like the scammers can turn things around really quickly too.
Yeah.
And but also so are you folks with getting the notification out there.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, the app allows us to feed information in real time. I believe we took 3 phone calls yesterday between 1 and 2, and by 2:15 we had a notification out, and we got that information out as quick as we could.
Okay, so that's the app in action there. I want to go back to the crashes because you said, this was back in March, 14 of them. I know, farmers are obviously getting their equipment out of there. How much did that play a factor?
Fortunately, we didn't have any. I think there was a sideswipe between 2 people trying to pass in a narrow road that involved farm implement, and the rest of it seemed to be pretty much just your typical, typical crashes, nothing major. Okay. So
yeah, and actually, now that I think about it, I think more of the planting actually was happening in April than March. So that would probably make sense. So operations update for March. Anything else to share before we get into some other topics?
No, I think that's pretty much wrapping up for what we've been dealing with lately.
All right, so you've got that for March. A couple of new team members. Tell us a little about them.
So yeah, we're proud to welcome 2 new correction officers, Kendra Green and Alyssa O'Rourke, joined on with the department. I believe Officer O'Rourke joined in May of 25, and Correction Officer Green joined in December of 25. And we were in a position that we were behind only because of sending so many at a time. We had a lot of new employees, and they give us up to 18 months to get these individuals certified. So they both on May 15th completed attending the Macon County Law Enforcement Training Academy through the Corrections Division and graduated from the class 2629. But additionally, those 2 individuals went above and beyond. There was 45 correction officers, and out of those 45, those 2 were picked to be part of the Honor Guard. And additionally, Kendra Green was the class secretary. So they had some pretty good achievements and was recognized for those accomplishments and represented the sheriff's office very well.
No, that's great. And congratulations to both of them and for you folks for getting them on the staff. You mentioned the Honor Guard. You mentioned a secretary position. Talk about kind of what those 2 things entail in terms of like going through the training.
Yeah. So when they go to the Correction Academy, there's things where they have to finish academics, and the physical fitness is voluntary for correction officers versus mandatory for law enforcement officers. And both of them signed up and completed the physical fitness aspects of the program. But additionally, they volunteered and was chose by their overall participation, one to carry the flag and the other to do the firearm that they carry in the Honor Guard. And Mr. Green was picked to be the secretary, where they, during the course of that 8 weeks, they do things like a blood drive, they do fundraising for community events, and like any organization or group, they'll have a secretary that takes notes, does all those things, documents what they've done. And those were all being done in addition to their daily routine of learning the procedures of corrections, their physical fitness, and their academic studies. So he volunteered and took those. I believe they have like a secretary to take care of the money that the group does. And like I said, he took the extra roles and responsibilities of being the secretary for that group.
Okay, so that's so that goes on what you said there with going above and beyond. So again, well, even more so now. Congratulations to the 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything more you wanted to share about the 2 of
them?
No,
we've got basically, if we get 2 more through the academy, we've got one leaving to go to the academy July, I think it's 5th, and they'll enroll in that 8 weeks, and we will spread those out. We'll do that individual and then one more. And finally, we will go up to full staff with not only full staffing, but all 10 of those individuals finally trained. I believe we've got 2 that are seasoned with upper of 15 and 20 years, and everybody else has got less than 2 years. So it's been quite a challenge to get all these individuals trained and certified.
Yeah, well, it's a process, and it sounds like you folks are working it through that. I'm talking right now with Chief Deputy Jim Baker of the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll look back at a couple weeks in the last few months that were used to honor folks who work in law enforcement and the areas of work that are relevant for sheriff's offices like the Christian County Sheriff's Office, and we might even have some other topics as well. And that'll be coming up after this break right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Find out all the great things happening in the Pana area on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, Tuesdays from 8:40 till 10. You'll hear interviews with Pana area community, nonprofit, and business leaders each week. The WTIM Pana Morning Show is brought to you by these sponsors.
Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, and Okanee Chop Shop.
If you need care, Springfield Clinic Taylorville's walk-in clinic is available. Here's Dr. Pavi Gill with Springfield Clinic Taylorville.
Springfield Clinic Taylorville has walk-in hours from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You do not have to be a Springfield Clinic patient to be seen at the walk-in.
Get the care you need at Springfield Clinic Taylorville. Walk-in from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m.
Get ready for an action-packed week at the 2026 Christian County Fair, July 21st through the 25th in Taylorville, Illinois. Come out for all the fair excitement in the grandstand. It all kicks off Tuesday night with the Queen Pageant. Wednesday night, it's the stock car races. Thursday night, it's the ITPA tractor pull. Friday night, live country music from superstars Gary Allen and Mark Chestnut. It all wraps up Saturday night with the Demo Derby. And what would a fair be without carnival rides and awesome fair food? Get your tickets now at thechristiancountyfair.com.
If you're looking for music that stood the test of time, join me, Randy Miller, Sunday mornings from 6 to 8 on 96.5thechill.com. I host Steady Ground Replay, a 2-hour journey back to the roots of contemporary Christian music. From the songs that started a movement to the hits that formed our foundation, it's 2 hours of timeless encouragement. Steady Ground Replay, standing on the music that built our faith. Sunday morning, 6 to 8 on 96.5thechill.com.
Nicole Patrick here, your local country financial representative at 1305 West Bresser in Taylorville. I'm proud to recognize the Lady Tornado student athletes that represent our community by being the exclusive sponsor of the ILSportswire.com Taylorville Lady Tornadoes Player of the Game this school year. At the end of each game, a Lady Tornado will be selected to receive a certificate for being named our Player of the Game, and they'll be featured in a highlighted reel on the ILSportswire.com social media platforms. Best of luck to all the girls' teams this season, and go Lady Tornadoes!
CTI is the only internet company that offers no data caps and limitless data for limitless possibilities. They're your local internet provider. Sign up by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM AM, FM, and online on the WTIM mobile app and Amazon Alexa is your ag information station with over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming and our own local farm broadcaster. Tune into WTIM, your ag information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and I continue my conversation with Christian County Sheriff's Office's Chief Deputy, Jim Baker, and we spent the first segment talking about some new team members and the activity for the month of, actually, it was April, not March, I'm being told, that those numbers that Chief Deputy Baker presented at the top of the interview is where they came from. So, just wanted to correct that. And I understand in April and actually earlier this month, there were a couple of weeks set aside to pay tribute to certain folks who work in law enforcement and some of the behind the scenes work. And Chief Deputy Baker, what were some of those dates and tributes?
Yeah, so National Telecommunication Week takes place April 12th through the 18th, and we took the time to, recognize those individuals. They're often the first voice that somebody hears in an emergency. So Telecommunicator Week was in April, the 12th through the 18th. Additionally, in May, they recognized the National Correction Officers Week, which was May 3rd through the 9th, to recognize all those that serve in corrections. And lastly is National Police Week that has been out in the news media and stuff. There's a lot of events that take place May 11th through the 17th to recognize and honor the courage and sacrifice that the men and women that serve in law enforcement, not only past but present, and ultimately recognize those that lost their life in the line of duty. So that took place May 11th to the 17th.
Yeah, and it seems, and kind of my take in hearing about this is that like it happens actually shortly before Memorial Day weekend when we of course remember those who served serve the country in uniform, and it's. And in some ways, at least, I mean, it is a similar sacrifice for people who work in law enforcement.
It is, and it's really encouraging to see. If no one's ever attended it, they actually put quite a gathering together at the state capitol, which is close enough that and it's open to the public, where they have the state police honor guard. It can be upwards of 5,000 law enforcement officers in the Springfield at the Capitol on that day, and it's always on the Thursday during the week of the memorial. And I would encourage anybody that that would be interested in attending. And they recognize all the fallen officers that had give the ultimate sacrifice through the year before, as well as canines, and like I said, and some guest speakers. So it's really it's humbling to see that, and it can be very moving to go be a part of it.
It sounds like it. You mentioned Thursday of Memorial Day week. Is that what you said?
It would be the Thursday during the National Police Week. So in that one between May 11th and the 17th, it would be on the Thursday of that week. It's always like the second Thursday, I believe, in Memorial, or second Thursday in May leading up to Memorial, to recognize those for the fitting month of Memorial for Memorial Week.
Okay. So it sounds like then that would have been last Thursday when you first described it. I thought it was going to happen today.
Yes.
So then that would have been very timely to mention that. No worries. Well, we got that clarified. Anything else you want to mention about National Police Week or the other tribute weeks?
No, sir. I just thankful for all the hard work that the men and women in all three of those groups do, and recognize their commitment to the county.
Yes, it is. It is important work, and it's and it is a sacrifice. So I'm glad you took some time to mention that. I mean, we talked about Memorial Day because we've got that weekend coming up. I'm curious from the your leadership perspective at in the sheriff's office work, what kinds of what that kind of looks like in terms of enforcement activity and what you folks typically see on that long weekend.
Yeah, so Memorial Day kicks off. It's not quite as busy as your other holidays like 4th of July and Labor Day, but we do have quite it kicks off your parade seasons, where our activity will go up, being in a presence for that and traffic control, as well as just group gatherings. It can be everything from more potential for emergency calls. There's a lot more people on the roadways. And obviously we step up our enforcement, as well as the state and other agencies, when it comes to impaired driving and just the fatal 4 driving instances, speed and talking on the phone and stuff like that. So we'll step those efforts up, and we see that's our first uptick in activity, but the deputies will be out looking for those things and trying to take a proactive approach on protecting the community.
Okay. So expect to see those vans out there during the long weekend that starts this coming weekend here in Christian County and throughout the country, but you'll see them here in Christian County. Into the last minute, anything else you want to mention about Memorial Day, or really anything else before I let you go?
No, I encourage people to get out, enjoy that weekend, and just do it in a safe manner. And we hope for everybody to have a safe, happy Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully we can get through it with minimal rain and enjoy the weekend.
Yeah,
So-
no, I think not sure the weather's actually going to work out
Yeah.
in our favor here in Christian County, but definitely hoping for a safe Memorial Day weekend. And to remember why it's Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely.
Chief Deputy Jim Baker with the Christian County Sheriff's Office. Chief Deputy Baker, thanks for coming in as always.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and thank you for listening here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time with another conversation, so stay tuned. Again, you're listening to WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump says the indictment of